I would add that Robert Greenlief was a Quaker. He came to Quakerism in his early 30s, and for the next 50 years of his life was a member of the Religious Society of Friends, Quakers, and was involved in several different Quaker organizations. I myself am a friend, and sort of discovered Quakerism in my early 20s when I came to Philadelphia, and have for many years been involved with the Society of Friends, and worked for many years with Friends Journal, which is a Quaker magazine published out of Philadelphia. I always have to be very careful when I talk about Quakerism as it relates to servant leadership, because it is complex, and because it's very important to me to try to keep separate those things that should be kept separate, but to honor and recognize those things that are a part of servant leadership and that relate to the teachings of the Religious Society of Friends. It would be easy for people to think that servant leadership was some sort of Quaker or religious leadership approach, and it is not that at all. But it is also true that Bob Greenlief and I myself have been greatly influenced by our own experiences as friends, and that is, as Quakers. The Religious Society of Friends is a largely non-creedal faith, one very committed to issues of social justice and encouraging peace and community relations. That's been part of the historical context of Friends, both in the United Kingdom and the United States and elsewhere for the last 300 years. There are elements of traditional Quaker teachings which certainly I see as part of servant leadership, and which I believe Bob Greenlief brought with him, mostly consciously, to his writings. One of those key elements has been the emphasis on persuasion, which is an important part of Quaker thought and belief, and the way in which decisions get made within meetings for business and those sorts of things. Another important aspect of it, though, has to do with that concluding statement in Greenleaf's Best Test, and in that I think there is a reflection of Bob Greenleaf's understanding of how those who are in positions who, whether it is poor economic positions or organizationally in sort of lower positions on the organizational chart, I think he was talking about many people, which is actually the majority of people, probably, if you look at it, that it's important to look at decision making and as a servant leader to try to do whatever you can to avoid causing harm to others, but also to lift up. So it's kind of stages of this. He's saying at best, in that statement, he's saying at best, not to do harm to others, but he's also saying to see if we can do more, to in fact lift up, whether it's elements of society or of an organization. That's also an important part of what servant leadership offers, and part of the great challenge, I think, for people in leadership roles within servant-led institutions, to ask those deeper questions and to take into account the potential impact that your decisions could have on others.